Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, I know, but today is March 17. What? How many states? Three or four states, right? No, actually, three states.
It was supposed to be four today. Oh, but Ohio canceled, so it's three today.
So four states were up, to cast their votes today. Obviously, Ohio decided to move because of the coronavirus, but three states decided to go out there and still cast a vote for some reason, which suppressed the vote. But
Yeah,
nonetheless,
they decided to get people sick.
Nonetheless, this is the results right now. We got Arizona reporting about 6%, and so far, Joe Biden is ahead with 42.4%. We could say that he won this one, right?
Which one? Illinois?
No,
Arizona?
we're Arizona right now. So it's 6%
Yeah,
reporting. They
South. Yeah,
announced, I think they already declared it for Biden, since
yeah.
the margin is very far away from him and Bernie Sanders. And obviously, he's at 42%, Bernie Sanders is 29. We go to Florida, where a state that a lot of people said that he was going to go to Biden regardless, and he clearly did. Look, 61.7% with almost a million, actually with a million votes in favor of Biden, and Bernie Sanders here coming at 22.9%. And
A
then
little bit
we
more than 2.5. Yeah.
and then we go to a state like Illinois, which was a very close race in 2016, with Hillary Clinton against Bernie Sanders. Now reporting about 59.1% in favor of Joe Biden, and we got Bernie Sanders obviously behind him with 36.2. And a lot of people are questioning, like, damn, why the discrepancy between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders is so far beyond that? Obviously, we could say there's a lot of things that had played throughout the days that had gone majorly in favor of Joe Biden, and this is why is the voting is like this, especially with what happened yesterday and the previous days with the coronavirus increasing and obviously United States shutting down completely, mostly everywhere. What do you say about these results, Kenneth?
I mean, it's expected to be honest. I mean, it was the thing is that um I was hoping Bernie Sanders would win, but when it comes to Florida particularly, we already knew he was going to do very poorly there. Because like the media and Joe Biden and all the other candidates tied his socialism to Castro socialism or communism,
Yeah,
and a lot of people, like I said, as soon as they hear the word socialism, it's just kind of like, oh shit, can't do that. Like, not gonna deal with that. And so it's like so that's why he got blown out so far. Like, it's 2.5 times too many votes. When it comes to Arizona, that was actually a little bit surprising. I thought Sanders would take that because it's so close to Nevada,
yeah.
but guess not. Illinois again. Barack Obama was from Illinois, and so it makes sense that it would go to Joe Biden. I think the main thing we have to take away here, though, is that despite the fact that Joe Biden isn't really that great, um, people like him way more than Hillary Clinton. So like you can't really compare to Hillary Clinton because it's like, well, you can't compare his record to Hillary Clinton, but you can't compare him as a person to Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, yeah,
People just hated Hillary Clinton. I don't know
yeah.
why.
For
So
some
it was just
reason.
like if I had a choice between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, I would vote Bernie Sanders. That's just what it
Yeah.
was. Other than that, a lot of these are expected. Florida, Illinois are expected. Arizona was both the most
I
surprising
mean,
ones.
can we say that it was expected, even though we got the coronavirus going on, and the CDC is telling everyone to stay at home, do not go out there, and be in
But that's the thing.
uh-huh.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Is fear is is a great motivator, but on top of that, people don't really think about it until it's like too late. And so it's like, how many of these states already voted by mail, right? I don't know,
A lot of
like
people say that,
how
yeah.
many, right? How many people went out and voted, right? And so it's like even with the coronavirus, a lot of people feel that because they just come from different generations. A lot of people feel like a lot of baby boomers grew up like right after World War II. They had um, they had that kind of instilled into them, like it's their civic duty to do it at all costs. And you have to not underestimate the fact that a lot of people who are older, they kind of have that idea in their head that my life is over. I have to do my duty. You know what I mean? And so it's like
Not really.
I think oh yeah, a lot do. Not all of them, of course,
Not
but a lot
really.
of people do. And so, they hear socialism, they're like, oh man, we gotta vote against that. That's bad,
Yeah.
blah blah. And he doesn't have the automatic we hate Hillary Clinton factor in here as either. So it's one of those things where it kind of became expected.
Yeah, but even
Uh,
well, the reason why I brought up coronavirus is because a lot of people who were projected to volunteer or who were projected to monitor most of the the precincts that were people coming in and voting, they didn't show up. And
right,
also,
but
some of
that's
the
the thing.
the
Like,
machines were not there anymore. They only had one machine for everyone that came voting. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, but at the end of the day, even with voter, when you have less people coming, it always supports the more conservative candidate.
yeah,
Like because like I said, the most consistent voting bloc in America is older folks, and so they end up going in for it anyway.
yeah,
So like if you could, so the least amount of people that shows up, the better it is for the more conservative candidate. The thing is that that works for um Trump later down the line.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna do something similar. And but obviously like you previously stated that it 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 put down the boats for a lot of millennials who are going out there and cast a vote, because obviously some of them decided to stay at home because it had some
eh.
pre-existing conditions. Some others like, I went down the line, I saw it was full, it wasn't moving after 3 hours, I just went home.
But
And
that's another thing that kind of happened too. I think kind of suppressed the younger vote, which was that for the last week since the coronavirus became like a huge thing, there's been a lot of guilt tripping of younger people because as you know, coronavirus, while it is lethal to everybody,
yeah,
it's not as lethal to younger people. If you're under
no,
30, you're the odds of you dying to it is pretty low. And so it's a lot of the last media you saw was, oh, you have a lot of inconsiderate young people. They're going out there. They're clubbing anyway. They're going to the gym anyway. They don't understand they can spread it to other people. They can. You have to care about the old people. The world is cruel to older people. Blah blah blah. Like you heard it pretty much all week. I've heard it all week. They say just because you won't die from it doesn't mean you can't spread it to someone who will. Who will die to it.
yeah,
And so I think that has to do with a lot of it because I think that works for some people that guilt trip actually said, well, I don't want to spread it to my grandma or my mom or my grandpa or something like
yeah,
that. And I think that also helped to suppress the vote because they never really had that same kind of signal to any other voter. It was usually just younger people.
yeah,
But at the same time, right? It is a cruel thing, but I think it's also unfair that just because you're younger, that you should have to relegate some of your power, while the older voters can just do whatever they want. You get me?
yeah.
It's like they're just like whatever. Like we can go to the polls, we can do whatever. But if you're young, we're gonna guilt trip you into that, right? We're gonna guilt trip you. You can't do this, you can't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but at the same time, I mean,
No, I get it.
some
Don't get me
states
wrong.
where they decided to do the right thing and move their the date that they were supposed to vote to towards
Yeah,
maybe 2 months down the line, around August, June,
yeah.
and obviously it was the right thing to do because the CDC recommended, hey, no, we cannot let people gather in a small place that
It's
could,
yeah.
and because of the pandemic, you cannot have that. And obviously, the
Yeah.
Democratic Party said, screw that. We want people to go out and vote because we cannot let
Right.
time to go by and have and leave an opportunity for Bernie Sanders to catch up or for voters to change their mind.
They actually had the courts actually said that they couldn't postpone it. Ohio governor actually defied the court, so in postponing the
Yeah,
election.
yeah.
So
No, it's
I'm not
because
gonna be.
I I
I'm
think
kind
at
of
last
surprised
minute, even though
though.
they had the court said, yeah, he's supposed to continue with the whole primary thing. I think at last
Right.
minute it was the CDC that got in between and said, no, we need them to suspend it for some reason. The director, I think the health director of that state got involved at last minute and decided to cancel them, even if the the court said, oh, to continue for. And but obviously the rest of the other states did not follow those directions because they were not applied to them. Just was just for Ohio, and they decided to
Yeah.
have their border process and primaries to continue. And
Yeah.
obviously, we saw the results here. Obviously, you could say that some people didn't vote, and it was very unfair because it was very unfair. And I'm sure this might have some kind of repercussions. Some people might have gotten sick.
But but that's the thing though. We don't know how much is suppressible because at the end of the day, until like we get the full picture, we didn't really know if it's a decrease from the amount of voters from last time, an increase. Because if it's an increase, then that's actually good, right? But if it's a decrease, it's bad. We're just assuming it's a decrease because it's the coronavirus going
Yeah,
on,
yeah. And obviously,
but it could also be decreased.
these if
Like I
you
said, people like
if you see right here, I think I'm not sure. I'm about to show you guys. I'm about to show him the screen so you can see right here. This is the amount of people who were waiting in line. I think it was what, Chicago. Yeah, here waiting in line to go out and vote, and obviously this goes against the recommendation of staying at home because of the pandemic. And obviously, a lot of people were like trying to say, "Hey, Tom Paris," because actually Tom Paris came out on, I think, MSNBC or CNN yesterday saying, "No, you have to go out there and vote because and it's safe and everything." I think even Simone Sanders, who happens to be the head of communications, I don't know, but it's for Joe Biden. He represents Joe Biden. She came out and said, "I don't know why Bernie Sanders saying that it's not safe to go out there and vote. It's really safe, and everyone should go out." And they were encouraging people to go out, and they were telling people that it was safe,
right
even though the CDC said it was
against the
not.
city,
Yeah.
right?
So obviously, some people was like, "No, it's my duty to go out there and vote," and they went out and voted. And they waited 4 hours in lines with a huge gathering of people around, and obviously, like I just mentioned before, this could have some repercussions later on. And also there was other things that are going on the polling stations. They had this little recommendations while people were, gather things. Once they, show up to vote, they were given these things that it was just the state senator Rick Heenan's 2020 Democratic sample ballot county. They were given these as people were going out inside to vote. So in here, this guy was his recommendation picks, and obviously had Joe Biden at first, along a lot of other down the ballot Democrats who to vote for. You know what I mean? And this is completely illegal because you're literally telling
Yeah,
people,
it was at the station.
yeah, yeah. People are like, here,
Uh,
here. As people were going inside to vote, they were passing one of them. So if you were
Wow.
like a last minute guy who didn't know who to vote for, here, there's a there's a list or there's a guide on how to vote from president down the bottom.
Like I
That
said, but this is what I was saying about Democrats make Republicans look good, which is that they want principles until it doesn't suit them, and then the principles go out the window.
yeah, like imagine if like Donald Trump would do something like this during the general against Joe Biden.
Basically. Like,
How would that look like? Obviously, Joe Democrats would be like crying about it
I mean,
until
remember when Trump said that the coronavirus wasn't that serious?
who? Who?
Remember
Trump?
remember when Trump said the coronavirus wasn't that serious? Everyone was bashing him. These
Yeah,
people come out there and say the same thing. Oh, go vote anyway. Like it's safe,
it's
but
safe.
no one,
Yeah,
no one,
yeah. Come on.
independence view Joe up, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, if you see it right here, so this is what CNN put out of there. Obviously, dependents are the votes to get during the general if you want to win. And they did a poll, and they trying to say, okay, what are your thoughts about Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, who happens to be the two last nominees in the Democratic primary race? And most of the dependents thought that Joe Biden was old. Obviously, they know him because he was the vice president of Barack Obama, and they also thought he was corrupt. Now, when we move the needle to the other side, where Bernie Sanders, we got the most independents think that he's old, he's a socialist, as Mason Biddy has labeled him, for months and months, And also, the independents think he's a great person, as a good person, as you said. But that is way better.
Way better.
Yeah, that way better than Joe Biden. Than they think he's a corrupt politician, right? And as you
But I'm
see it,
actually surprised about the same thing is the Democrats actually think that Bernie Sanders is smart. Like it's like Democrats describe Bernie Sanders even better than Joe Biden.
yeah, yeah. According
Which
to
I think that adds to that narrative that people feel that they should vote for Joe Biden because they think he could beat Trump versus actually being a good president.
yeah, more likely. Look at what Republicans think about Joe Biden. He's all a liar, creepy, and stupid. And then Republicans think that Bernie Sanders is a socialist. He's old and a communist, which is just like what mostly what's it called, mainstream media has pictured him as to be. And then when they go and listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, they come out with a different idea who Bernie Sanders is.
There's another thing too, like one thing that both of them have in common that people think they're just too damn old.
Yeah,
Like they are all they're both in their late 70s, which is kind of old. I'm not gonna lie.
it's a given.
Yeah.
It's a given, but that's like saying, "Oh, they're all socialists," because
Yeah, everyone thinks he's.
who cares? Just labels, like you said, right? Like you said that what North Korea? What's it called? What's the label for North Korea?
Oh, the People's Democratic Republic of North Korea.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you had to know.
It's not for the people and it's not democratic.
It's not democratic. Yeah, but they call themselves yeah, they live in a democracy, even though they're run by a dictator. So that's pretty much is that's the results for today. A pretty upsetting picture for the Bernie Sanders campaign, and no, I don't not the movement, because I think most of Bernie Sanders' ideas are very popular, especially Medicare for All. But obviously, if like I think Yang will say the math is not there, and
It's definitely
it's
to be
not close.
honest.
It's not close. They just said that
It's it,
it's closing.
it's like a 200 delicate difference.
Now, yeah, it used to be
It's
like
like
150.
Joe Biden is definitely Joe Biden is definitely gotta be a no.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it hasn't even finished, because they had to gather what 1,091.
Yeah.
Yeah, delegates to win, but it's pretty close, I would say. Now, as you see, Joe Biden has 1,147 delegates, and Bernie Sanders has 861. And obviously, they're gonna count Bernie Sanders delegates very slow.
Late.
Yeah,
We're
late.
gonna get it in 2 months.
Like California was just called for Bernie a few days ago, right?
Yeah, it's not even done, by the way.
Yeah, and then California voted like 2 weeks ago, right? Almost like that.
Yes.
Yeah, it is disgraceful. Whenever they I'm sure if Arizona would have gone for Bernie right now, they will still be counting votes, and people's like, oh, we don't know what's gonna happen in Arizona. Just like it happens in where Colorado, just like it happened in Utah, and also Washington at some point. But then obviously Joe Biden won that one. But that's where we are at.
But we forgot the best part of the night was that Donald Trump won Florida,
Oh yeah,
93%.
yeah. For sure, Presley, Donald Trump destroyed his opponents in Florida. It was a close race, I would say. It was a close race. You know what? Let's see. Let's check out the numbers for Donald Trump. He reserves our respect. He has 1,330 delegates out of the 1,276 that he needs to win the nomination. There you go. He wins the nomination. Congratulations to Donald Trump on winning the Republican nomination. Look at Bill Weld with one delegate. He was close, but he was not. I don't think he was going to win against Trump.
At least Joe Walsh took the hit and dropped out.
I don't think he's still in, right?
Well, Bill Weld, I think he's still in. It's always I don't know how to pronounce his name. Roque de la Fuente.
Roque de la Fuente. I don't know this guy. Nobody knew he was running.
Yeah, they definitely lost. I don't know what they were thinking.
But obviously Donald Trump took the nomination. I'm sure he's bragging about it on Twitter right now. Actually, I would even check that out because we know.
You want to get demonetized?